so happy to see so many people here today. You got a beautiful weather day for these views, right? So we're talking about the bay, which is right there. So that's spectacular. We're really excited to bring this program to you today.
I have the absolute pleasure and privilege of moderating this panel with 6 amazing superstar agency leaders from city, state, and federal agencies who all work in Jamaica Bay.
It really is critical to have the community know what's in their backyard, know where there's an opportunity, know what the land history is, and that kind of collaboration is critical.
My role and day-to-day is really making sure these projects keep going, and so it is really getting stuck in the weeds, the doing, and the responding, and to the troubleshooting. But that troubleshooting is really based in collaboration. Within our internal agencies, and particularly with our partners, and the Army Corps is a big one that I've just stepped into specifically for the coastal storm risk projects.
I think from an innovation standpoint of the Marsh Islands, this is an opportunity that we've gotten to do a lot of sampling and hydrodynamic modeling, and being able to really pinpoint where the restoration, where the protected features and shoreline features. And I was so excited to see your presentation, Leonard, because we're looking at matrix and other types of shoreline features like that, so we can look at what kind of levels of protection we need at various parts of the island and move that forward. So at the end of the day, when we build these marsh islands, they're successful, the sand stays there, and we do it in the most ecologically friendly way.
The innovation is that it happened. The innovation is always leveraging every single resource to grow into something bigger and better, and then resulting in an incredible give back to the community. A community that in this case waited a long time.
My favorite part of my day is when a monitoring report for the end of the year comes in, and I get to see maybe we should be looking at the layer placement a bit more, not to say, oh, it's a pilot, we can't do it. We can push back against kind of how the rules have been set and say, well, there's more data now, there's more research, there's more backing to it being a feasible way of moving forward.
I think the push to do things in ways that we are doing it incrementally, we've learned from it, and we're doing it in ways that if it doesn't work, we're not left with something we can't live with, is also a really important thing to think about.
We talked about multi-jurisdictional environment, and you're getting all of that.
We're also big fans of eDNA, so I had a great conversation outside about using this. So eDNA is like 23andMe for the biosphere. It's really a cool tool, just like 23andMe. When you get it, you open it up, you're like, whoa, no way, like I didn't know. So it's really kind of a neat thing. And it really encourages a lot of sharing and engagement with various types of clients. Like we work with a lot of private sector clients, engages their employees, helps them understand why they want to do something nature-based. Because this is a good example, we just delivered this report, there were 4 threatened and endangered species on a nature-based breakwater we did for this client. And so once you show those photos, it really helps them to get dialed in on doing this and draws them into the conversation.
So this is our current Seaway prototype. It has most of the things that underwater vehicles have. Won't get into the technical details here, but happy to discuss it. So most activity in the oceans, almost all of it takes place right around the coastal areas, very, very close to shore. And that presents a challenge for underwater vehicles, underwater robots such as plant matter, getting stranded, getting beached, and also making the transition, unless you have a nice harbor or a boat ramp, making the transition from the water to the land and back is very challenging. And there's a lot of debris, especially around the cities, a lot of trash and water that can get the propellers miles apart.
So this next project is called the Jamaica Bay Community Flood Fellowship Program. And what we do with the Flood Fellowship Program is bring community leaders from across the Jamaica Bay watershed together to talk about exactly what I was just talking about, right? What flooding looks like, how it's changing, what kinds of solutions we might be able to build together. And so we bring in expert speakers, but most importantly, people from different neighborhoods are able to talk to each other about solutions that work where they live, or that change things where they live, and how the problem looks where they live, and then we get to learn from each other, because people are experts in their own communities, and they know more than a researcher who's working in isolation.
Installation isn't the end, it's just the beginning.
These systems are not self-sustaining. Wind, tide, rain, and wildlife begin testing the restoration immediately. The story begins when the contractor walks away and after the ribbon cutting.
If we want to meet our goals around resiliency, community safety, in the face of a lot of different threats and challenges, we need to invest at a scale that is commensurate with those challenges. And we need to invest particularly in the people and the workforce and the communities that are affected.
It's important to inspire and educate and teach local community members because they are the future that is going to carry on this work down the road.
It's all about community resilience. If the community is not resilient, then you have no adaptation, you have nothing to bring forward, you have nothing to carry on. So you have a great job that you use well, that takes care of our environment. That could all be passed on, right? That's the key of resilience. And those are all the components and just a systematic approach to take. Growing from small, but allowing them to have this career worth taking on, going generations.
A part of that inclusion and belonging is having them be a part of these conversations, being a part of these events, meeting folks who are in the field, and also making them feel welcome and belong in these spaces.
So if you take simply an ecological approach, you might have healthy ecological systems, but you don't have access, you don't have community buy-in, and that affects your sustainability and the success of those projects. So it's really important to make sure that the people that are doing the work are also bringing that community perspective to it.
The Jamaica Bay Champion Award was conceived to recognize extraordinary actions towards health and well-being in Jamaica Bay. We are thrilled and honored to present the first Jamaica Bay Champion Award to the Jamaica Bay Eco Watchers.
I want to thank the Conservancy for this award and for the working relationship that they have established with us to achieve the goals which we all desire. Thank you and keep on.